Right now, tonight in the National Hockey League, there are three brothers on the ice, three of them, and all three are among the best young players in the entire sport. One is a team captain, one went first overall in the draft, and almost nobody watching them realizes they are Jewish. Their mother was a Jewish hockey star before them. The oldest had a bar mitzvah. And they are not even the only Jewish stars in the league right now. There is an entire cluster of them. A hidden dynasty in the most unlikely sport imaginable. A sport played on frozen ponds in places that historically had almost no Jews at all. When we made our first video about athletes, you had no idea we're Jewish. The comments exploded. You gave us name after name we had missed. Golfers, tennis champions, Olympic legends, and yes, that wall of hockey players. So this is the sequel you asked for. 15 more athletes, this time organized by sport, because once you see them grouped together, a pattern emerges that is far more surprising than any single name. We're going to start on the ice with that hockey dynasty, move through the tennis courts and the figure skating rinks, stop at a few sports you would never in a million years associate with Jewish athletes, and finish with the most decorated Jewish athlete who has ever lived, a name that belongs in the same breath as the all-time greats. Let's lace up and begin. Number 15, Matthew Schneider, the man who paved the ice. Before the current wave, there was Matthew Schneider, and you cannot understand the dynasty without him. Schneider played nearly 1,300 games across a 20-year NHL career that began in the 1980s and stretched into the Obama years. He won a Stanley Cup with the Montreal Canadiens in 1993, represented the United States at 2 Winter Olympics, and was inducted into the International Jewish Sports Hall of Fame. For a long stretch, he was essentially the only prominent Jewish player in the league, the lone visible answer to anyone who said Jews do not play hockey. He once lit the world's largest menorah while playing for the New York Islanders. Schneider was the bridge. He proved it could be done at the highest level for decades, and every Jewish player who came after skated through the door he held up open. Number 14, Jason Zucker, the elder statesman. Then came Jason Zucker, who for years has been the longest tenured Jewish player in the NHL, the veteran of the new generation. Drafted in 2010, Zucker built his career mostly with the Minnesota Wild before bouncing through Pittsburgh, Nashville, and beyond. He has a Hebrew tattoo on his left forearm. He has spoken about lighting a virtual menorah with his family over video calls when he was on the road as a young player in juniors and college, unwilling to let the holidays pass just because hockey had pulled him across the continent. In 2019, he won the league's King Clancy Memorial Trophy, awarded for leadership and humanitarian work. Zucker is the connective tissue between Schneider's era and the explosion of talent that followed. Number 13, Adam Fox, the Long Island kid who became elite. Adam Fox grew up in Jericho on Long Island, in the heart of one of the most Jewish communities in America. He attended the Jericho Jewish Center, a conservative synagogue, and had a hockey-themed bar mitzvah, which may be the most perfect sentence in this entire video. Fox went on to become one of the best defensemen in the NHL with the New York Rangers, winning the Norris Trophy as the league's top defenseman in just his second season. A feat almost unheard of for a player that young. Fox has spoken about what it means to represent the Jewish community, to be one of the few that kids from his world can look up to. A Jewish kid from Long Island is now one of the best defensemen on the planet. If you find these stories fascinating, make sure you subscribe to Bloodlines and Borders, because we have not even gotten to the brothers yet. Number 12, Zach Hyman, the loudest and proudest. Zach Hyman might be the most openly, vocally Jewish athlete in all of professional sports today. A native of Toronto who attended a Jewish high school, Hyman represented Canada at the Maccabiah Games before reaching the NHL. He wears the number 18 for a specific reason. In Hebrew, the letters that spell chai, meaning life, add up to 18, a number of deep significance in Judaism. On the ice, he exploded for 54 goals in a single season with the Edmonton Oilers, the third highest total in the entire league that year. Off the ice, as the grandson of Holocaust survivors, he has spoken out forcefully against anti-Semitism and in support of the Jewish community. He lit a giant menorah at a public Hanukkah event in Edmonton. Hyman does not hide it, soften it, or downplay it. He leads with it. Number 11, 10, and 9. The Hughes brothers, the dynasty itself. And here they are, three brothers all in the NHL, all Jewish through their mother, Ellen Weinberg Hughes, herself a standout hockey player who competed for the United States women's national team. Quinn Hughes, the eldest, is the captain of the Vancouver Canucks, the youngest captain in the league when he was named, and one of the best defensemen in hockey. Jack Hughes, the middle brother, was selected first overall in the 2019 draft by the New Jersey Devils, the first Jewish player ever taken with the number 1 pick, and is a perennial all-star when healthy. He had a bar mitzvah and has spoken about celebrating Passover and embracing the heritage of both his parents. Luke Hughes, the youngest, set records at the University of Michigan and now plays alongside Jack in New Jersey. Three brothers, one Jewish mother who was a hockey star herself, all three at the pinnacle of a sport that a generation ago had almost no Jewish presence at all. If you ever needed proof that the stereotype about Jews and athletics is dead, it is three Hughes brothers tearing up the NHL at the exact same time. That is 7 hockey players. Sit with that for a second, because it reframes everything. This is not a fluke or a one-off. There is a genuine Jewish moment happening in professional hockey right now, and most fans have no idea they are watching it. Now let's get off the ice. Number 8, Shahar Peer, the tennis star who said no to Yom Kippur. Shahar Peer was the most successful tennis player Israel ever produced, reaching as high as number 11 in the world and becoming the first Israeli to reach the quarterfinals of a Grand Slam tournament. But the moment that defines her is not a match she won. It is a match she refused to play. At a tournament in Uzbekistan, one of her matches was scheduled to fall on Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the Jewish year. Peer told the organizers she would not compete during the fast. She held her ground, and in the end the schedule was changed to accommodate her. The granddaughter of a Holocaust survivor, Peer also once led the March of the Living through Auschwitz days before the French Open. She carried Israel on her back across the tennis world, sometimes in the face of real hostility, and never once apologized for who she was. Number 7, Diego Schwartzman, the giant slayer from Argentina. If you follow tennis at all, you know this name, and you may not have known he is Jewish. Diego Schwartzman from Buenos Aires climbed all the way into the top 10 in the world, an astonishing achievement for a man who stands just 5'7" in a sport ruled by giants. Nicknamed El Peque, the little one, Schwartzman repeatedly took down players nearly a foot taller than him through sheer relentlessness. He is descended from Jewish immigrants who fled to Argentina. His family history includes ancestors who escaped a train bound for a concentration camp. Schwartzman has represented both his country and his heritage proudly on the biggest stages in the sport. A top 10 tennis player carrying that history in his name. Number 6, Sasha Cohen, the artist on ice. Figure skating has a quietly deep Jewish history, and Sasha Cohen is one of its brightest names. Cohen won the Olympic silver medal at the 2006 Winter Games, and she was renowned for her extraordinary flexibility and artistry, popularizing a move so associated with her that many simply call it the Sasha Spin. Born Alexandra Pauline Cohen in California to a Jewish family that belonged to a Reformed congregation, she was one of several Jewish skaters dominating the sport in that era. Her grace on the ice made her one of the most famous American skaters of her generation, and her heritage was woven quietly through it the whole time. If you find these stories fascinating, make sure you subscribe to Bloodlines and Borders. Number 5, Amy Alcott, the Golf Hall of Famer. Now, a sport almost nobody connects to Jewish athletes is professional golf. Amy Alcott is a member of the World Golf Hall of Fame. Full stop. She won 5 major championships across a dominant LPGA career, turning professional at just 15 years old and going on to win 29 tournaments. She was famous for celebrating her wins by leaping into the pond beside the 18th green at one signature tournament. After her playing days, she became a respected golf course designer, even helping design a course for the Olympics. A Jewish woman from California, she is one of the greatest golfers the women's game has ever produced. Tell that to anyone who still believes the tired stereotype. Number 4, Rena Rusty Kanakogi, the woman who forced Judo open. This is one of the most extraordinary stories on the list, and almost nobody knows it. Rena Kanakogi, a Jewish woman from Brooklyn known as Rusty, fell in love with Judo in the 1950s when women were essentially banned from competing. In 1959, she entered a YMCA team tournament, won her match, and was forced to give back her medal when officials discovered she was a woman. She never forgot it. She became the first woman ever permitted to train with the men at the Kodokan, Judo's legendary headquarters in Japan. Then she spent decades fighting to get women's judo recognized, even threatening a lawsuit to force the issue, and finally succeeded. Women's judo became an Olympic sport at the 1988 Seoul Games, with Kanakogi there as the coach of the United States team. She did not just compete, she kicked the door down so that every woman who came after her could. Number 3, Raz Hershko, Israel's judo powerhouse. Staying on the mat, Raz Hershko represents the modern face of Israeli judo, a genuine international power in the sport. A heavyweight competitor, Hershko has won European Championship gold and claimed an Olympic medal for Israel. She stood on the podium as her national anthem played, a moment that carries enormous weight for a small country that treats its judokas as national heroes. Israel has quietly become one of the best judo nations on earth, and Hershko is among the athletes who made it so. From Rusty Kanakogi forcing the sport open to Raz Hershko winning Olympic medals, Jewish women bookend the entire modern history of women's judo. Number 2, Larry Brown, the coaching legend with an unmatched record. Here's a name from basketball that even die-hard fans rarely flag as Jewish: Larry Brown. Brown is one of the most accomplished coaches in basketball history, and he holds a distinction nobody else can claim. He is the only coach ever to win both an NCAA national championship and an NBA championship. He won the college title with Kansas in 1988, and he won the NBA title with the Detroit Pistons in 2004. Born to a Jewish family in Brooklyn and raised on Long Island, Brown also won a gold medal as a player for the United States at the 1964 Olympics. It is a Hall of Fame career spanning more than half a century, and a record no other coach in the world shares, held by a Jewish kid from New York. Number 1, Dara Torres, the most decorated Jewish athlete ever. And the number 1 spot goes to a woman whose record is almost difficult to believe. Dara Torres is a 12-time Olympic medalist in swimming, 4 gold, 4 silver, 4 bronze, making her, by the count of medals, the most decorated Jewish athlete in the entire history of the Olympic Games. But the raw number is only half of it. Torres is the first swimmer ever to represent the United States in 5 different Olympic Games, spanning an astonishing 24 years, from Los Angeles in 1984 all the way to Beijing in 2008. And here's the part that defies belief. At the 2008 Olympics, at the age of 41, a mother who had given birth 2 years earlier, Torres won 3 silver medals and missed gold in the 50-meter freestyle by 1/100th of a second, the closest possible margin in the sport. She is paternally Jewish and is enshrined in the International Jewish Sports Hall of Fame as the standard against which Jewish Olympic greatness is measured. When people say Jews are not built for elite athletics, the simplest response is 2 words: Dara Torres. 15 more athletes, 7 NHL players including 3 brothers in a hidden hockey dynasty, a top 10 tennis giant slayer, an Olympic figure skater, a World Golf Hall of Famer, 2 women who built and dominated Olympic Judo, the only coach ever to win both an NCAA and NBA title, and the most decorated Jewish Olympian who has ever lived. Put the 2 videos together and the stereotype does not just crack, it shatters into nothing. These athletes were never invisible. They were just never grouped together, never named, never given their due all at once. The story was always there. Most people simply were never told it. And to the viewer who left that incredible comment listing the hockey players, the golfers, the judokas, this video exists because of you. That is exactly how this channel is supposed to work. If you find these stories fascinating, make sure you subscribe to Bloodlines and Borders. Every people has a story they were never told, and we tell them here every single week. Tell us in the comments which of these surprised you the most, and who did we still miss? There is clearly a part 3 waiting to be made, and the names are going to come from you. They told you Jews could not play. 3 brothers in the NHL, 12 Olympic medals, and a Hall of Fame in every sport. Say otherwise. Thank you for watching. If you want to go deeper, the next video on your screen is one you won't want to miss. I'll see you there.